Hello, my friend. It is so good to have you here today. I want you to imagine something. You are 17 years old. You are in a courtroom in Hampton, Virginia. You are wearing a suit that does not fit right. The judge is looking at you. The jury is looking at you. The whole room is looking at you. And then the verdict comes, guilty, 5 years in prison. You are 17 years old. You have not done what they said you did, but nobody believes you. Nobody is listening. The system has already decided that a black boy from the projects of Hampton, Virginia, does not deserve a second chance, but this boy would get one anyway, and he would use it to change everything. This is the story of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was born on June 7, 1975, in Hampton, Virginia. His mother, Ann Iverson, was 15 years old when he was born. 15. His father was never in the picture. Ann raised Allen alone in the projects of Hampton. The apartment flooded regularly. Sometimes there was no electricity. Sometimes there was no heat. Sometimes there was no food. Ann did everything she could. She worked every job she could find. She fought for her son with everything she had. But the projects of Hampton had a way of pulling people under. Allen grew up watching friends get arrested. He grew up watching friends disappear. He grew up knowing that the streets were waiting for him. If he did not find something else to hold on to, he found two things: basketball and football. By the time Allen reached Bethel High School in Hampton, the whole city knew his name. He was the most electrifying athlete anyone had ever seen. On the football field, he was untouchable. On the basketball court, he was impossible to stop. Colleges were already calling. A future was opening. And then one night, in February 1993, everything closed. It was a Saturday night at a bowling alley in Hampton. A fight broke out between two groups of teenagers, black kids on one side, white kids on the other. Chairs were thrown. People were hurt. Allen Iverson was there. What exactly he did that night has been argued about for 30 years. Witnesses gave different accounts. The facts were never completely clear. But the result was very clear. Allen Iverson was arrested. He was charged with maiming by mob, and at 17 years old, he was tried as an adult. The trial lasted 3 days. His mother sat in the courtroom every single day. She could not afford a good lawyer. The prosecution had more resources. The jury deliberated, and then the verdict came down. Guilty. 4 counts. 5 years in the State Farm Correctional Facility. A 17-year-old boy sent to an adult prison for a crime that many people believed he did not commit. His mother fell apart. The city of Hampton fell apart, and Allen Iverson sat in a prison cell and wondered if his life was already over. But something was happening outside those walls. People were paying attention. Civil rights leaders spoke out. Journalists wrote about the case. The black community in Virginia rallied around this boy. They said the sentence was too harsh. They said the trial was not fair. They said a white teenager would never have received 5 years for this. And slowly, the noise got louder. 4 months after Allen Iverson entered prison, the governor of Virginia, Douglas Wilder, granted him a conditional clemency. He was released. He walked out of that correctional facility. After 4 months inside, he was 17 years old. He had missed his entire junior year of high school. His football and basketball scholarships had disappeared. His future looked like rubble, but he still had his mother, and he still had the ball. Allen went back to Bethel High School. He played one more year of football, one more year of basketball, and he was so good that the scholarship offers came back. Georgetown University offered him a full basketball scholarship. Head coach John Thompson became a father figure. Thompson was one of the most powerful coaches in college basketball. He saw something in Allen that others had missed, not just the speed, not just the handles. He saw the fire of a boy who had been told he was nothing and refused to believe it. At Georgetown, Allen Iverson was something nobody had seen before. He was 6 feet tall. He weighed 165 pounds. He was the smallest player on the court almost every single night, and he was the best player on the court almost every single night. He averaged 23 points per game. He was named Big East Defensive Player of the Year. He made everyone around him look slow. He made defenders look like they were standing still. After 2 years at Georgetown, Allen declared for the NBA draft. In 1996, the Philadelphia 76ers held the first overall pick. They selected Allen Iverson, number 1, the whole draft. He came to Philadelphia with braids in his hair, tattoos covering his arms, a Philadelphia 76ers jersey that looked like it was made for someone else, and a walk that said, "I have already survived the worst you can throw at me." The NBA was not ready for Allen Iverson. The league was still conservative. Suits and ties after games, clean-cut images, corporate sponsorships. Allen walked in wearing baggy clothes. He wore do-rags. He wore cornrows. He wore jewelry that caught the light like a statement. He walked like the streets of Hampton were still beneath his feet, and every black kid in America saw themselves in him on the court. He was something else entirely. He was the smallest player in the NBA, and the most fearless. He drove into the lane against men a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier. He took hits that would have broken other players. He got up every single time. He scored and scored and scored. In the 2000-2001 season, Allen Iverson put together one of the greatest individual seasons in NBA history. He won the scoring title with 31.1 points per game. He won the MVP award. He was 26 years old. He was the smallest MVP in NBA history, but that was not the moment the world truly saw him. The moment came in the 2001 NBA Finals, the Philadelphia 76ers against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers had Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. They were the greatest team in basketball. Nobody gave Philadelphia a chance. Nobody gave Allen Iverson a chance. Game 1, Allen Iverson scored 48 points. He drove through the Lakers' defense again and again. He hit impossible shots. He made it look like anger had become a basketball move. Philadelphia won Game 1. The whole basketball world stopped breathing. And then, after the game, Allen Iverson walked to the free throw line to practice. He stumbled. He stepped over Tyronn Lue, a Lakers guard who was lying on the floor. He looked down at him. He kept walking. That image. A small man from the projects of Hampton, Virginia. Stepping over a defender after scoring 48 points in the NBA Finals became one of the most famous images in basketball history. It said everything about who Allen Iverson was. He did not apologize for existing. He did not shrink for anyone. He stepped over them and kept going. The Lakers won the series 4-1, but nobody remembered that. What they remembered was Game 1. What they remembered was Allen Iverson, alone against an empire and refusing to fall. The years that followed were complicated. He battled with coaches. He was traded from Philadelphia. He moved from team to team. He never found another coach like John Thompson. He never found another city like Philadelphia. He retired in 2010. And then the money was gone. Over the course of his career, Allen Iverson earned more than $200 million, and by the time he was in his late 30s, almost none of it remained. His marriage ended. His relationships fractured. He was spotted in casinos, gambling through the night. He was seen wearing the same clothes for days at a time. The boy who had stepped over Tyronn Lue was now being helped by friends just to get by. In 2016, Allen Iverson walked into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. He stood at the podium in a suit. He looked out at the audience, and he cried. He talked about his mother, Ann. He said she was the reason he was alive. He said she was the reason he survived the projects. He said she was the reason he survived prison. He said she was the reason he survived everything that came after. When Allen Iverson finished speaking, the entire Hall of Fame was on its feet, because everyone in that room understood something. This was not just a basketball player. This was a boy who the system tried to erase. At 17 years old, and who came back and changed the culture of an entire sport. My friend, I want you to think about something before we go. Allen Iverson never had a father. He grew up with no electricity and no heat. He went to prison at 17 for something he said he did not do. He lost $200 million. He lost his marriage. He lost almost everything. And yet, when you walk into a basketball gym anywhere in the world today, you will see his influence, the crossover dribble that defenders still cannot stop, the fearlessness of going into the lane against bigger men, the culture, the cornrows, the tattoos, the baggy clothes, the walk. All of it started with a boy from the projects of Hampton, Virginia, who refused to let the system decide his story. The system said, "Guilty." He said, "Watch me. Maybe tonight, my friend." Something in your life has already said guilty, already decided you are not enough, already closed a door, already written a verdict about who you are. But here is what Allen Iverson showed the world. A verdict is not the end of the story. It is sometimes just the beginning. Keep going. One step, then another, then another. Thank you for spending this time with me today, my friend. If this story moved you, leave a comment below. Tell me which moment stayed with you the most. Was it the boy in the courtroom, the man stepping over Tyronn Lue, or the moment at the Hall of Fame when he finally cried? I read every single word you write. Until next time, take care of yourself, and when the night falls, come back.